Right, hello everyone, welcome back to LiQWYD. Let me start off with a little bit of an apology. The audio might be a little bit rough in this game. I've got a bit of a cold, not feeling the best, but I'll still give it my very best for the commentary. If there's any loud coughing, I will try and cut that audio out for that in the edit, but bear with me. Like I say, my apologies. So this is game 2 of my Blurple match against Ruby Sapphire with Chris. Now, full disclosure, we did already play out the game 2 for this game, and I did beat Chris on it. However, the footage conveniently got corrupted, so we opted to play it out for another game just so we could get that officially down on the channel. So we're going to scrap the previous game that I won, and we're just going to say this one is the decider here. So won the first, ignoring the second that I won, and then this one will be the real game 2. Chris, of course, on Ruby Sapphire, he's teched it out with his power line build. But obviously he has lost cards like B-Prep and Sisu, making it a lot harder for him to win. Not a lot of card draw in the deck as well. He's put in Cheater to use as a card draw engine. Little bit of a tip on the Cheater. I messed up on the previous video. I said that Chris had potentially made a misplay. Turns out I was wrong. Thank you guys for letting me know in the comments. Chris also sent me a message last night just saying, Zach, yeah, Cheater's actually on this second card that you get to draw. So I know now. Thank you to all you guys, and look at that, we're learning together, top tier. But after that, we've got bad news. Not only has Chris got his turn 1 play with Develop, but it looks like we've not got any ramp in our hand whatsoever. If you've listened to my videos before, you know with Blurple, it is essential that we get that turn 2 ramp. The deck does not function without it. The one saving grace here is that we've got a lot of draw in the deck, so we can potentially come back. Ruby Sapphire is a bit slow as well, but it's looking really rough for us. We've at least got the turn 1 Rafiki, we've got another Royal Guard in our hand as well, so we're going to have to focus on trying to get a little bit of board presence just to try and keep Chris down so he doesn't go too far ahead. But it's a bit of a worry for us not having any ramp here. Obviously, at this point, it's probably going to have to be play out the Royal Guard. Another option is to use the 2-cost Hidden Strength and then get a bit of card draw, try and go into ramp on the next turn. However, I think board presence and keeping him down is going to be a little bit more useful. It's going to feel a little bit wasteful just not playing any cards this turn effectively. So we are going to play out the Royal Guard, and then I am going to ink that Hidden Strength and pass turn. My logic there is there's not too many big beefy characters in his deck. Obviously the Maui Shark, but I've got way loads of other strategies for getting rid of him. So I don't think Hidden Strength is that useful for me. Chris is going to ink his Develop, play out Kida. Really great play here. Kida has Ward, so I can't tackle it with Elsa. Using Elsa's effect to exert it, but also when you exert Kida, get to look at the top 2 cards of your deck. 1 card goes into the ink well exerted, the other back onto the top of the deck. I've had to just ink and pass turn there, did not have any suitable plays, which is a shame, just inking the Madam Mim Elephant. Chris has then drew, and it is going to be a little bit of thinking going on with his ink there, having a little play around with his turn. Looks like he's potentially going for 3 ink. First of all, he's going to be activating Kida's effect, see what 2 cards are on the top of his deck. 1 card will be going back, the other straight into the ink there. Nice quick decision from Chris. He is then going to be playing out his... Oh, come on, Chris, you're making it hard for commentary, man. Let's go, play your card. It's going to be inking Powerline. Oh, I hate see Powerline. Inked, one of my favourite cards in the deck. Breaking my heart. He's going to play B-King Undisputed. Okay, I'm not sure this was the right play here, mainly because I've only got 2 1-drops on the field. Obviously, he's trying to stop me getting a bit of tempo, but they're not very good, you know? They're not going to do much. The one argument you can have is it'll be able to take out Kida and his Tipo. I would have to assume that he had no other options in his hand, no other suitable plays. Of course, I will take out the Kida straight away there. I don't want him ramping, being able to get his cards out easier. Obviously, Rafiki going into a 4-cost is a great trade for me as well. Now, I could play out the Dumbo here. I could also play out the Iago. I think I am going to go for the Dumbo. Now, there's a very specific reason for this. I could go Iago, then Dumbo next turn, utilise Iago's effect. But the worry was, because I've not got anything at the minute, if I lose my Iago straight away, there's not a lot of board presence there, so it's going to cause me problems. Chris has managed to get his Maui Shark out nice and early, which puts me in a tricky position because I can no longer quest and exert my character. I need to have a little look in his discard to see what actions that he has in there, which I'm going to do just now. He's got the B-King Undisputed and Develop. The issue is with Maui Shark, not only can it take out my character, but it can then bring a card back into his hand. If he's able to take back the Develop, he can get a bit of additional card draw. You can see only 2 cards in his hand. We don't want to give him any other options, so I am just going to play down the Iago and pass turn. 2 4-cost back-to-back there. Hand is Into the Unknown, Hades, and an Elsa. So we do have an option there for the Maui Shark eventually. However, at this point, we are still needing to ramp up a little bit to try and get to that total. Not seeing any ramp by this point is absolutely bonkers. I think that's turn 5 we're on. It's very rare that you get this on Blurple, but it does sting when you're in this position. Luckily, we have managed to catch up a little bit now with Ink, so I think I might have enough for the Hades this time. Nope, that's me on 6 Ink now, so just Ink Into the Unknown and passed. Once again, I could quest out my characters and encourage Maui to challenge into one of them, take it out, but there's the option that Chris could play down another Maui Shark and still get back in action to gain lore from, so I do not want to give him that opportunity. 2 Hades in the hand there, I just need to play the patient game. He's only on 2 Ink, not a lot of cards in his hand, so no threat. Don't really need to worry. He is going to go for the second Maui Shark, recognising that I could be getting rid of one this turn. And he's going to pass his turn. Yep, I think that's a sensible play there, obviously with no actions. I'm going to straight away Ink that Bell. We're going straight into the Hades, get Maui into the Inkwell. That's 1 down, 1 to go. Chris knew that was coming, very straight, quick onto his Maui Shark there. He's going to draw for turn, and then let's see what options does he have. If he has an action, he could obviously get the effect from Maui, gain a lore with it. He's going to play down Chicha, and that's going to allow him to draw if he inks a second card this turn. That's 1 card into the Inkwell, break free. You can sing, yep, 1 jump head here with Tipo, really nice play. 1 jump head lets you ramp a card from the top of your deck into your Inkwell face down and exerted. Chicha allows him to draw an additional card. And he gets the Bee King Undisputed, very nice. So he's going to play that off there. My choice what character I get rid of. You could argue that Iago is the easy one to pop because an action's going to take it out anyway. However, with Iago, I can also utilise Dumbo's additional effect, which is more card draw for me. Hades isn't really doing too much up in the matchup unless I can bounce it back. Already got rid of a Madam Mim Elephant, so I don't value it too much right now. We just had a little bit of a conversation. I was asking Chris if he had enough ink to do that. Obviously, he did hardcast before. I wasn't sure that he had sung with one of the characters or not. He sung with Tipo, the 1 jump head, so he did have enough. But it's always good to just double check your opponents to make sure that all plays are okay. And then gains 2 lore. Not too sure if he got his lore for the Tipo there, singing 1 jump head. And somebody let me know in the comments, not sure if I spotted it, did Chris put the correct lore total on? I think he should be on 5. Right, straight away he knows the Maui Shark's going, been holding on to that Hades, that's straight into his ink. Board's looking a lot better now. I do want to get rid of that Beagle Boys, just so he's not getting rushed with his characters, so I'm probably going to challenge into that with the Iago. I'll activate Dumbo's effect straight away, gaining lore, exerting an ink, drawing a card. Iago will take out Beagle Boys. Now left with Chicha and Tipo on the board, putting me in a bit of a better position. So 4-1, Chris is currently winning, but he looks like he's in top decking mode. I've at least got 2 cards in my hand and a draw engine on the field. Going to play down another Beagle Boys. I will ready all my cards. And the good thing here is, even though we've been in a tricky position, this is why Dumbo's so suitable in the deck. It lets us come back. We've got cards like Finders Keepers, Second Star to the right, which lets us draw just so much. And even when we are in this worst position, it gives an opportunity to challenge in, wait till they run out of resources, and then take over the game from there. Really nice play with Elsa here, being able to force exert Chicha and Beagle Boys. You could argue that I might as well take a turn to not tackle into them, but for me, I don't like leaving carrots on the board. I think at this point, this is where Chris was talking about the actions from the previous turn. Obviously, in a tournament, you wouldn't let this happen, as it needs to be declared then. However, this is a friendly match between us. Not too bothered about that. We want to be on the correct lore totals. We want a nice, fair game. So I do elect to take out the character there. He gets down another Chicha. Chris, I'm starting to think you're not very good at shuffling. We're seeing a lot of repeated cards here. To be fair, I shuffled his deck after him, so maybe he's just got very lucky. Or unlucky, depending on the draw that he's got. We are going to play down Elsa, take out the Chicha straight away. No card draw for you today, Chris. Not happening on this channel. We are then going to be exerting Dumbo to utilise the effect. Gain a lore, draw a card. Draw into a Genie there. That's really nice. Get a little bit of extra draw off that. Going to ink out the Iago into our Inkwell. Play out the Genie, take the additional draw. Go into Sail the Azurite Sea. We will then quest out. Yeah, lovely. Going up to 9. Good bit of pressure on there. Chris is sitting where Tipo goes into another Chicha. God, I'm starting to think he's got 15 of these in his deck. we will go back to our turn. Obviously, as you can see on the board, there's nothing that Chris can do here. Too many evasives, and he's not going to be able to take out several characters. At this point, the game basically is mine, but we did want to just at least play it out for, since it's on video, just to see what the final end of game will look like. We're going to exert Dumbo, utilise the effect. Oh, look at that, Tifo. I've found all the ramp that I should have found at the start of the game. Unreal. Exerting Iago with Dumbo's effect. Oh, second star to the right. Here to cause a problem. Pretty sure at this point in the footage, Chris actually did just say, look, man, can you not just quest out and put me out of my misery? But no, we want to see what we draw into. Blurple is a draw deck, and we are here to draw, guys. That's another bit of ramp that we see there as well, and the Finders Keepers. So that could be a little bit of fun. Obviously, the beauty of second star to the right, sing together and draw 5 cards, just puts so much advantage into your hand. It's unreal how much draw this deck can get. I've played games against so many decks where I've nearly ran out of cards, and I cannot tell you how glad I am that Whole New World is not a thing anymore, because otherwise I'd be decking out quite a lot. We are then going to be playing out Sail the Azurite Sea, get some ramp in, draw a card. I'm then going to ink a card for turn, and then play another Sail the Azurite Sea, draw a card. With that, we are then going to ink a card from Sail's effect, and then ink the other one, and then play an additional card here. Can you guess what it's going to be? Oh look, Sail the Azurite Sea. As you can see, we're getting quite a lot of ramp here. Obviously, like I said before, I could just pass my turn. Chris isn't going to be able to do anything for it, but we wanted to see how far that we could get, and get that well-deserved ramp from the beginning. 3 sails on one single turn, probably a little bit overkill. I'd quested with my genie there on that turn when I'd just played him out. That was my mistake, so that's why I just took the law back there. Obviously, we do make mistakes in games sometimes. As long as we catch ourselves out on it, it's absolutely fine. We don't like cheating in Lorcana. Chris is going to play Develop, and there's nothing he can do there. He just concedes. Game's clearly mine. And yeah, that's all. Right, thank you very much for watching, guys. Next match is going to be a Blurple Mirror. Looking forward to seeing you next one. Bye!